Hello and welcome into your read for Wednesday, April 24th, where we're going to be taking a look at what all energies are wanting to come through for you from God, Spirit, the Divine. I hope that everybody had a good Scorpio full moon and that you were able to maybe clear out energetically, or for some of you physically, clear out some of the things that you feel like had been holding you back or taking up a lot of space in your energetic field. So some of the times, even if it's not taking up a lot of space in your 3D world, if you're just churning something over and over and over again in your mind, sometimes that can be very, very exhausting. So hopefully you were able to address some of that during full moon time. And that energy will linger through the rest of the week as well, kind of the shadow period. So let's see what all we've got. 10 of Cups in reverse, the Magician. Oh, and apparently I grabbed 2. 5 of Pentacles in reverse and Knight of Pentacles. So, a little bit with this 10 of Cups in reverse, this is about having some family feuds and some, separation at home for some of you. So now remember, when we talk about home, when we're talking about separation, it can either be physically leaving the place that you reside, or it can also be that feeling that you're just not in that warm, happy home space. You are being pushed, like with this Magician energy, especially on the heels of this full moon. It's kind of that sense of, okay, if the push there was to let go of things that are no longer serving you and to really take a look at what situations are kind of begging for your attention, usually when you address them, there is a period of angst, separation, disruption, whatever that might look like. But your push is to transmute that into a higher vibration. We also have our Knight of Pentacles, and so that's going to be this hard work and patience. But it's interesting. So in this deck, the Knight of Pentacles is moving. In a lot of the other tarot decks, the Knight of Pentacles is the one knight that is stationary. It's not charging in, it's not doing anything. So sometimes that can be seen as a little bit of a lazier energy, but sometimes it's also more of a matter of that is the knight that's like planting the seeds, because you can see it in the background of that picture. So in this one, it looks like, yes, this knight is working. He's mowing the lawn there. And so it's more of a matter of trying to create something beautiful and solid. And then the 5 of Pentacles is about overcoming adversity, overcoming some of that heartache, and moving on. And there is an element of forgiveness too, like she's forgiving herself for all the plates falling. So even though there is this energy of separation, which for some people that might be that knee-jerk reaction of, oh no, I don't want that. What you're really doing is transforming your experience. You're moving on from something that has caused you grief, heartache, stress, anxiety. Like I said before I even pulled any of the cards, even if something is not causing you lots of disruption in your 3D, if it's causing you to sit there and think about it over and over, if it's causing you to have endless conversations in your head with that person, those people, whatever the case may be, if you're constantly sitting there churning that scenario over and over and over again, that's something that you may not realize how much of your energetic bandwidth is being taken up by that problem, that experience. So one of the things, and it's interesting, the mind hates unanswered questions. So it's kind of that whole thing of, that's why, you may experience where somebody asks you something, or it's on the tip of your tongue, like, oh yeah, that, dating myself here, kids, before the advent of IMDb and being able to just Google everything. It's like, who's that actor? What movie has he been in? I don't know. And then you're, laying there in bed 9 hours later trying to go to sleep. And it's like, oh, yes, that person from that movie, or whatever the case may be, because your mind hates unanswered questions. So if you have this scenario that wasn't moving, your mind is churning it. And this Knight of Pentacles, it's like, yes, there's some energy. It's like trying to build that foundation, trying to create that beautiful home. So that's overall the energy for the collective right now. Let's go ahead and jump into sign grouping by sign grouping and see what additional messages want to come through for you. So we will start with air signs for today. That's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What wants to come through for you? All right. We have the Empress in reverse. So this is a little bit about Empress is that divine feminine energy. It's that inner wisdom, or, that divine consciousness, higher understanding, all of that. And in the reverse, it's almost like there's that sense of you're feeling disconnected from it. So whatever this situation is that you're trying to transmute and you're trying to figure out how do you move on from it. And it's not even necessarily that you want to move on from that person, that job, that family experience, but you want to move on from what is this like gritty, just butting heads. Like you want it to break free and get to a happier place. But you feel like you're cut off from your inner wisdom and you're cut off from like your higher consciousness about what to do. So some of this could be if you're, for example, like Geminis tend to be overthinkers. So if you're an overthinker, it could just be that you're churning and churning and churning this information. So make sure that you're allowing enough time for peace, for meditation, for reflection. Intuitive communication, silent whispers of the heart. So this is something, if you're able to quiet that monkey mind from going, you'll be able to feel in your heart what it is that you want to do. So some of it as well is in your heart, like what is your heart telling you to do? And then is your brain trying to talk you out of what your heart wants to do? Oh, well, what will people think if you do that? Well, isn't that silly? Like you've had a bad experience similar to that in the past. So you're obviously just going to have another bad experience, like whatever those voices are, quiet that and feel what feels right in your heart. So the jumper card here was a new romantic cycle begins. And what do you need to release? So those seem to be going together color-wise, like that there's a new romantic cycle that's trying to come in. So for some of you, it could be an actual separation. If you're in a relationship that's been challenging, it could be that there's a separation that's going to happen. And then there's also this card of what do you need to release? With the blues in here, though, it's kind of, there's something that needs to be released relative to this situation. So for some of you, it might be a matter of actually releasing that person and just saying, you know what, this relationship has run its course. It's, you've learned all you're going to learn. Some of you, though, this could also be what do you need to transmute within the relationship? Like, what is the lesson that you're supposed to be learning here? And if some of it is about healing and letting go of the past, is there a new cycle within the current relationship that you can experience if you're able to release some of your fears, your insecurities, your doubts? If it's old arguments, can you blank slate it and kind of start fresh there? All right, last card for air signs is apparently 2 cards. Fluid, may you shift and transform, and gratitude, may you honor all that you receive. And there's a link in the description box below to my website that has some information on gratitude journaling if you wanted to check that out. But some of it is with your shifting and your transformations, paired up with your gratitude. So something is transforming here with those blues. Something is definitely being released and transforming there. But with your gratitude journaling, remember to be grateful for all of the experiences that you're having, even if it feels yucky. It's teaching you something. It's helping you grow. And if there are certain lessons that you need to learn before some sort of happiness comes in, like you need to lay that groundwork by learning the lessons so that when the right situation, whether it's the right job, the right relationship, whenever that comes in, then you're ready for it. So, for example, if we're using like a job scenario, if you have a terrible time of being able to get to a job on time when you're supposed to, the tough lesson could be that maybe you're not at your dream job right now and you just keep getting in trouble, like, okay, why are you late all the time? Why are you late? Like, why are you missing these deadlines? And so some of that, you might feel like, well, if I had the job I wanted, it would be better because then I'd be more motivated. But part of it, the universe might be teaching you, no, you need to be responsible because otherwise you're going to get this dream job that is like the perfect job for you. And you're going to screw it up because you keep showing up late. You don't have the work ethic yet to get that dream job because you're not able to display that yet. So that could be, think about it that way, that especially with relationships and jobs and things like that, you need to have certain skills so that you don't, mess things up when the right one comes along. So, all right. So that whole message is be grateful for all of the experiences that you have because they're teaching you something you need to know for the good blessings that are coming in. So, all right, now we are on to our fire signs, which is our Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's see what wants to come in for you for today. The Star in reverse. And you know what? I think this came up for you yesterday as well, or maybe it was the day before. The Star in reverse is about, there's a sense of pessimism and like disappointment. So if you are physically leaving a certain location, for you, it could be that this relationship is being left behind. And so it makes you feel sad and kind of, pessimistic about what's the future going to look like. Like, I thought that was my forever situation, whether it was a relationship, a house, career. I thought that was my forever and it's not. So there's like a little bit of that sense of pessimism about moving on from it. Let's get some more clarification here. A flame tree, the start of something new. But rather than focusing on what is going away, it's a matter of focusing on what is new. How do you transform that energy, that sad, maybe stewing type of energy? How do you transform it so that you can be more excited about what's the new thing that's coming in? So that I read that somewhere, little meme, something about like the key to change is focusing all of your energy on the new thing, not on whatever you're walking away from or moving away from. So with the start of something new, even if you're focusing on little things like trying to rebuild yourself, something as small as mowing the lawn, taking care of your surroundings, something that small can kind of help build that foundation within you of, okay, I'm getting started on something new. And luck is on your side as it relates to this something new. Look at those colors together. So definitely luck is on your side as you're starting something new here. And so this one jumped. Joy. May you pursue what lights you up. And that color-wise is also going with those. And then we also have accept. May you receive what is as it comes. So some of this is about, as you have luck on your side and you're getting that sense of something new coming in, let your life be filled with joy and let that joy lead you in the direction you want to go, and then accept what the universe is trying to bring in for you. So beautiful message there for our fire signs. Now let's take a look at our earth signs, which is our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Strength in reverse. So this is about kind of that sense of like vulnerability and manipulation and just kind of insecurity. So, if your physical situation is changing, if you're moving out, if somebody else is moving out, if you're moving away from what feels like home, so, you're kind of moving out of your comfort zone, is leaving you feeling weak and feeling maybe kind of clingy and like not wanting to accept that. But this Magician card is pushing you to move into that place of acceptance, move into that place of moving on and start doing little things. Even if you're just doing really little things, it'll help you start to feel like you're gaining more strength. Because if you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, I can't control anything around me, everything's terrible, it's going to make you spiral downwards even more. So even something as simple as, mowing the grass or washing the dishes, or I got some laundry done, like even just very little things like that can sometimes help if you're feeling like overwhelmed by this, like, hey, everything just feels off. Kind of find some strength in everyday routine. And then peace, dissolving unwanted or disturbing thoughts. And that's really what this magician energy is focusing on, is how do you transmute these disturbing or unwanted thoughts. At the beginning, I think this was at the beginning when I was doing the collective reading, talking about, how do you put an end to some of those racing thoughts, those things that are taking up all this energetic bandwidth but aren't really getting you anything. So if you're just constantly stewing the same conversation over and over, or the same scenario over and over and over and over again, and you're not doing anything about it, it's really not serving you. It's taking up mental bandwidth, and it's not bringing you any peace, because it's not fixing the situation. So a time for healing. So that's where you are right now, is a time for healing. And if this situation is upsetting and kind of causing you to feel weak and vulnerable and all of that, really work on your own healing, work on your grounding, even working on your gratitude journaling, and what are you grateful for? There's something in this lesson, in this pain, that's helping you to grow. So if you can identify what that is, sometimes that helps you move past the pain that your avatar, your 3D body, is feeling. Then we have hope. May the horizon always sustain you. And actually, when you look at those two, look at the horizon here, and then the colors here in this peace card. So keep your eye focused on the horizon instead of looking down at what exactly is happening right now. What is it that you're moving towards? Where is it that you're going? There's that beautiful, with this one, there's this beautiful sunset, and yes, you have waves that are kind of crashing on the shore, but there's beauty in the waves as well, even though it's like that they're crashing on the shore. But stay looking at the future, and that actually looks like, you can see the moon up there at the top. So look off into the future, and kind of keep your sights focused there. And what will your life look like once you move past this feeling of being, kind of out in the cold and having these troubles at home and the separation. All right, let's take a look at water signs. What wants to come through for you? And that is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The moon in reverse. So this is, the moon is about kind of like the lies. Usually in the upright, it's about other people lying to you. In the reverse, it's much stronger of a message of what are the lies that you're telling yourself. And what are some of kind of the self-delusional things coming into play here as it maybe relates to this separation or these feuds at home. And actually for you, let's pull another card. What is the self-delusion that we have here for our water signs? Strength. Oh, that was the other one. And the sun in reverse. So it's interesting. You have the sun and the moon both in reverse. So things feel like they're kind of out of balance right now, like that everything's turned upside down. And it will take strength for you to move through it. But the sun is kind of that sense of being locked out of your blessings, like you're not sitting in that happy space, but it's because of the fact that you have some of these self-delusions. And so if you can transform that into something more positive and kind of reframe the way you're thinking about it. So this is a pretty big thing for you, water signs, because you have 3 major arcana cards. And so usually when you have lots of major arcana, that means that it's a significant life lesson, as opposed to just like everyday regular things that are happening. So make sure that you're really looking at the situation and being honest with yourself about, okay, what is it that I'm being called to do here? And how can I sit in this energy of strength to be able to move through these feelings of anxiety, related to this feeling of being separated from home. And like I've said, so that could either be physically leaving your residence, or somebody else physically leaving your residence, or it's just you feeling separated from that happy, warm, fuzzy home feeling. All right, let's take a look at the Gaia card. Let's see what we've got. The Temptress, seduction, deceit, and a broken promise. So for some of you, this could be kind of third party energy, whether the Temptress is an actual person or whether it's a scenario like, you've been telling yourself, oh, it's fine. I'm just I'm working hard so I can provide for my family. But it's like, yeah, but you're spending, 70 hours a week working, you're ignoring your family, you're creating separation at home. How do you transform that want, or, that drive to provide for your family? How do you transform that into a more loving expression? Because, kind of the pursuit and accumulation of wealth, that was more of the last age. Now in Age of Aquarius, it's more of that community. How do we all win type of situation. Confidence is your key to success. So some of this is going to be a matter of, as you're working on this magician energy and the strength, and how do I change this dynamic that's in play, is having confidence that you can do it. You can. It's just a matter of having that confidence that you can do it, so that you can transform the situation and bring your life back into better alignment of what it is that you're wanting. All right. Then we have balance. May you find equilibrium in motion. So that's about finding that balance in your life, bringing things back into alignment, allowing the energy to flow in a creative way through you, in a positive, high vibrational way. So I hope that you found this message to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. So make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when the new videos are posting to the channel. So within the next week or so, I'll be working on the readings for the first half of May. So those will be coming out, and I'd encourage you to check those out for a more in-depth look at what's going on for you. So until then, I wish you peace and joy along your journey.